Larry's ready. Let's go.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And Diane.
I don't have my jacket. I got dirt all over it. No, I got dirt all over it in the car. All right, adult daycare. Judy Dahl, Bob Kozakevich, come on up. And Ernesto, yes.
Good morning.
Good
Morning.
morning, how are you, Bob?
Good.
So where are we with this?
Hi, Judy.
Good
Good morning.
morning.
And good morning to you.
Well, the board knows that
We have everybody here now.
we received one response to the RFQ, and that came from Dayhaven.
Right.
Judy and Ernesto have pretty much been taking over from that point with response as far as trying to set up the facility so that Dayhaven can come in. I'm not sure how many of you have actually looked at the response from Dayhaven, but they were talking about, doing a lease. I think it's more of a license. They're offering, I think it's $15 a foot, and they believe they can use about 1,500 square feet of the building. So they wouldn't be using the entire building. They would be sharing it, which that's the reason why I believe it would be a license as opposed to a lease arrangement. And I know that there's some structural things that need to be done, which Ernesto and Judy have been in contact with Dayhaven to discuss, and I think they're talking about maybe a spring start, and that's where we are.
April is what we're hoping for.
Provided the board is okay with moving ahead and
What do you think?
taking on this program.
What do you think?
I think it's an excellent idea, can't wait for it to happen. Ernesto's been working with our town, B&G and the electricians, right?
Well, the idea is to
They're
roll
going
up
to
the
do it
company.
myself. Oh, they're excellent. They've been running a daycare since 1984. They
Yeah,
have
they
one
have,
in
I think it's
Ronkonkoma and one in
30-something
Port
years
Jet.
of experience,
Yeah.
that's correct. So, they've been doing this.
So how much does it cost us, or are they gonna be paying us?
They're paying a rent.
Okay, so they are gonna pay rent,
Yeah.
so like Riverhead
Minimum,
Country
like
Day,
Rogers.
who negotiated the rents?
The original with the Riverhead Country Daycare went back to 1992, was initial 10-year term.
Right,
Then
we
in
ended it
2003, it was another
ended
10
it.
years, and then they ultimately,
We wanted
they ultimately
things
moved
that they
out.
didn't agree
No,
Right.
that's not why they closed up.
Well, they ultimately left, which is what
Closed their visits.
provided this to go forward, so.
How long's the lease for?
We haven't, they talked about initially a 3-year in their RFQ response.
How long
So, 3-year.
With
So,
the hopes of renewing. They want,
so, what are they paying in rent?
15
$15
per foot. And they're saying that they would be able to utilize about 1,500 square feet. It comes out to $18.75 a month.
The 3-year lease is up just to see how it's gonna work out?
Correct.
Our hope was to get this program to come to town because there's such a need. And the reason it was shut down years ago was because we couldn't afford to sustain it, and it wouldn't sustain itself.
Right.
What
So
were
it
we
was shut
charging?
down, but we so desperately need this program in town.
Understood.
Oh, I think
It's
we all
not
recognize.
costing us a dime.
I think we all recognize
What
Well-
are we collecting a foot from Riverhead Country Day?
At the end, they were paying $43,000 a year, which equated to $36.20 per month, but they were using the whole facility, which is almost 3,000 square feet.
I think they were only paying $15, $16 a square foot.
Well, they had a lot more space they were utilizing.
No, but I'm saying they're only.
Yeah.
Right.
I think it was about the same
It
amount
was
per
about
square
the
foot,
same.
yeah.
But it's-
The yearly rate, what's it gonna be? If they-
It's 22,500 per year if we go forward with Dayhaven.
But we don't have to, the program cost a fortune. I don't remember what it cost under Cardinale, I wasn't here. This isn't costing us anything, except it is gonna cost $35,000 to renovate the building. But in 2 years, you've paid that off, and not only that, you've provided a service that the residents of this town desperately need, at really not much cost. And if they left the building, these renovations still have to be made, because most of the renovations, the toilets in that building are about that high.
Right.
So you can't use the building for anything else. So the renovations we're doing are renovations that
That'd be
if
done.
you have to be done anyway. You can't have adults using that
And we will have
building.
programs going on at the same time, intergenerational programs
Correct.
on the other side of the building.
That's correct.
So it's not,
Who's
strictly
gonna
for
maintain
that.
the building?
we will, buildings and grounds,
So we'll be doing the roofs and all that.
Yeah.
Correct.
like we do now.
Okay.
It'd be similar to what with the Riverhead Country's State School, the
We'll
arrangement
cut
would
the
be
grass
similar.
and they'll-
Yes, yes. They say they can serve up to 25 participants a day. And they talk about, it's a program they're looking to run Monday through Friday, 8 AM in the morning to 4. They provide breakfast and a lunch, and I think it's 6 hours of programming as part of
You know
their.
what they're charging?
Was it my, did
I
I
think
forget
their
my
fee,
password?
if I remember correctly in the RFQ, or the response was like $75 a day.
That's what I was
That
gonna
included the 6 hours of programming, the breakfast and the lunch.
So we're not involved in that business part of it.
No, that's
No,
that's their
you're-
relationship with
they're
the
looking-
participants who will
If
be.
it's gonna be affordable for our residents, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, 'cause it's probably gonna be covered under Medicare or Medicaid.
May
Right.
not be.
Medicaid now, and there's some funding you can get, which we couldn't get years ago.
You can't.
But it's, you know, the rule laws have changed, so they're able to apply for different funding. There's some private pay, and then there's different things available, which we didn't have back when we were running it, so.
Yeah.
So I'd like to move a resolution forward. Are they
think we
ready
need
to
far
enter
outweigh
into
all
the
the
license
stuff
or the
about it.
lease?
Well, we haven't even discussed the nitty gritty of a license or lease.
Can we get that done before the end of December?
Yeah.
Before the second board meeting in December, if the board,
Yeah, I
If
can
the board,
set
if
that
the
up.
board is amenable,
Board
you know,
schedule.
we can put something together in draft
Does the board
form
wanna
and
move
start
forward
those
with it?
I think,
discussions.
I think the project's far.
Well, I think
along.
it's something the town needs, for the residents. I
it's
just
a
wanna
great-
make sure it's gonna be affordable for our residents, and not gonna get residents from, Southampton over here, or,
Right now, our residents are going to all those different towns, because
Yeah.
we're the only
Well,
ones
no,
that
but I
don't
mean,
have
there's
one.
not gonna be
mostly-
a prohibition.
I mean, this is, you know,
Yeah, John, there's not gonna be a prohibition. They're gonna give preference to our
Bring your
residents,
board,
but
bring
they
your
have to get a certain number of people to make the program work. And if they don't get the people, then they're gonna go away.
Priority is to Riverhead, we spoke about
Right.
that when we met in Sean's office.
But if the spots don't get filled, you can't
Mhm.
not open it up, because then the program closes up. They
Right.
have to have a certain number, they have to have whatever, I don't know
no,
what
yeah,
they
no,
say,
I realize that. I
100 or
just- I
200
just-
participants to
I
get
just feel
25.
it should be affordable, to the residents of Riverhead, not be way up high, so
Oh,
they can't
it's-
afford it.
I-
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, fine. I don't know how affordable any of this stuff is.
This
quite frankly.
is very affordable, because I'm going through a situation now with elder care with my in-laws. $75 a day is very affordable in terms of what they're gonna provide. It's very affordable. I'm not saying it's, everybody can afford to pay the 75, but for what you're getting for
Oh,
$75
no,
a day
I
is
believe that
better
could
than if
be.
you had to hire
But
somebody
I'm going with the
24/7 or
affordability of the
somebody
salaries
to come in.
Can't
that
get a
the
babysitter
Riverhead
for
people
75.
have, and the
Right.
insurances
Private
they have
pay
and all that stuff.
If they
If
had
they
the
can afford the
privately paid
75,
job,
Mhm.
the thing is, if it was privately paid, very few could afford it, but there's
Correct.
other things that they
Okay.
can apply
Right.
for.
Good job.
All right, so let's get this done.
We'll make my turkey, I'm really done.
Let's get this done,
Sure.
as soon as we can,
Yeah.
and get it ready for signature. Want to move it forward. All right. Ernesto, thank you guys.
Thank you.
You stay, change order, roof replacement, on the water district. What's going on?
You get a $60,000 roof over here, Matt.
Yeah, all right.
Now it's 100?
Nah, we're not it's very reasonable, start that off by saying that. So the contractor came, as you know, we put out the bid to replace the roof. We had a successful bidding, we awarded a contract to, more contracting. He came out to do a second field assessment, sort of like a prep before we get started. And he brought up concerns that there may be asbestos that we did not account for in this bidding cycle and the last one either in 2014. I contacted H2M, had them come out and do a test, came back positive that has asbestos in the roof and some of the material. They gave me an estimate, H2M gave an estimate of $30,000 to $40,000 to remediate the problem. Moore Contracting has a subsidiary company that will do asbestos removal. He came back with an estimate of $31,000.
What is the asbestos in? Is it in the
It's in the
shingles?
shing-
It's in the shingles, the tar paper, the siding shingles, as well, so both the roofing and the siding
Do we know when the
shingles.
last time this roof was done?
50s?
If ever?
I don't know.
60s?
It's
I mean, is that standard fare for materials that were used back
probably
then when it was done?
in the
Because
60s, yeah, perhaps. I mean, our small concern was the siding material. not really too concerned with the roofing material,
Right.
but it came
Right,
back
because
as-
that's where it would be more prevalent, would be the siding material,
Yeah.
I would think.
and the siding was really out of the scope of the work of the contract. It's just only to be very minor work, just to do the roof.
liable,
What's that? So,
I'll do it for 20.
he came back with, so I'm asking for a change order of $23,584. That includes, we're getting a credit,
Right.
because some of the work is duplicate off of our original bid.
Do we have the money?
Mark has the money, so it will come out of the same funds that are, we took the money out of this time, the first go-around, which is a plan improvement,
So we gotta get an adjustment, budget adjustment.
budget adjustment, and resolution to accept the change order.
All right,
Don't have a choice.
I don't think you have a choice.
No,
The
don't have a
building's
choice.
gonna be leaking more than it already
I
does.
just want somebody to come in here with good news one day and say, hey, guess what, the job they were gonna do, it's $50,000 less and we're getting money
In all
back.
fairness,
It
we
just
haven't
never
dumped a lot of
happens.
money into infrastructure because we're still trying to.
I mean, you know, it's a very good price considering what the other bids were.
I get that, I'm not arguing that.
You know,
All right, so do the change order and budget adjustment and happy days.
all right, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
You were,
Dawn Thomas, where you at?
yeah, that was good news you gave us yesterday.
Let me go get something off my desk.
What? You still got
All
stuff
right,
on
we're
your
gonna do
desk?
resolutions. Where you going, John?
I gotta get something off my desk,
Okay.
because I see something coming up that I have to, I'm questioning.
Why, you still got stuff on your desk, the boxes, man?
I only got one thing on my desk. Golf ball.
I saw that.
That's my golf ball to play with. What you got, Ms. Thomas?
You have a resolution in your packet regarding the New York State, or Preservation League of New York State grant that we received from, for the Benjamin Barn structural study for East End Arts Council. So it just authorizes us to accept the grant. It's in accordance with the grant policy, accept the grant, authorizes the accounting office to issue our match check, which is only $500, and us to sign the agreement with the structural engineer that will be doing
Why is the library not paying the $500?
it's East End Arts Council.
Oh, East End Arts.
It's our building, it's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
the-
yeah. I don't know why I thought
It's not
that.
the
It's
yellow
okay.
barn.
Yep.
It's okay. Yeah, it's not the Yellow Barn, it's the Benjamin Barn.
So, who's administering the grant?
It's the Dennis
we will
Siskey
be doing
painted
that.
barn
Really,
project.
are there administrative, recovery in the grant? Is there?
No, it's a very small grant. It's only $3,500.
Oh, okay.
And it's
Okay.
just for a structural study by an engineer of the Benjamin Barn to determine whether it could be converted for use as a ceramic studio for East End
Do
Arts.
we know who's doing that study?
Yes, we had to get them approved because they have to be,
Is that
it's Steward,
stewardship preservation?
yes.
Great guy.
So they are, they are authorized by, for historical buildings and to determine whether or not that building is adequate
Joe,
for that
he's
use.
a good man, yep.
So he's our guy, he had to be approved in advance of the grant, so, and then once we get, the documents signed, we send it up, then they'll give you, they asked us not to publicize until we get them the things that we need to get them, which you will authorize per the resolution.
All right, good.
All right,
Let's do
simple.
resolutions.
Right.
I don't know where John went, maybe got lost. Resolution 1, community development and fund budget adoption. Bill, what is this? You might as well come up here.
Pay Dawn for her TV.
Okay, which one are we on? I don't have it.
How about resolution 1, community development fund budget adoption? Oh, you can't, because I'm logged into you, huh?
Okay, yes, that's for, we have, professional services, engineering and legal and stuff like that coming out of the 914 fund. so we don't have, we're taking it out of fund balance. We have a couple accounts to take it out of, and the balance is coming out of fund balance.
Oh, this is for EPCAL.
For EPCAL, we
Okay.
have about 92,000 in fund balance at the beginning of the year, so we're using 21 of the 96.
Okay. Resolution 2, general fund budget adjustment. I love the end of the year.
Yeah,
This is just to continue to pay the bills through the end of the year.
these are all the contractual expenses. We haven't done salaries yet. We have to wait till the end of the year to do the salary ones, but these are all the contractual expenditures that have to be moved around to fill the budget.
Are we good? Good. Various funds budgeted up.
Same thing, I broke them out. One's general fund, and then the other one is, water and sewer.
111 is highway.
111 is highway, yes.
We good?
Yep.
2017 hockey rink new surface budget adjustment.
Yeah, they went over by 250, so we're bringing $250 more from trust fund into there, from the Park and Rec trust fund to cover it.
$250.
See, that's good news. It wasn't 250,000.
I know.
Wasn't 5,000 back in our pockets.
It wasn't, it was less.
$5 at Fox Hill, Phase 3B Water Capital Project budget adoption from budget developer fees into lateral water mains.
Now,
That's
is that
not
the-
our money.
What's the address there? Is that,
3,400.
okay, so we're confirming today, it may change, it's either 3,300 or 3,400. We got two different addresses in when the check was made out, and it was noted 3,400, but on the memo it said 33, so I'll confirm which one it is, and the correct address will be on the Tuesday's resolution. Okay.
Sewer fund budget adoption, same thing, just cleaning up.
No pun intended.
Is that the budget, is that the budget adjustment for the roof? Probably.
No, that's sewer.
Oh, this is sewer? Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's one that he specifically asked, he's got. Is that the 15,000?
Did you get the two from Justice Court?
Yes, that's included in the general fund.
Okay,
She's
that was-
self-funding it from salaries that she saved.
Okay. 7, authorizes payment of Association of Towns annual membership dues.
How much?
I forget what it is, $200, I think, but that allows you to go and get discounts when you go in
Correct. Yeah,
February.
we make that money back if anybody goes.
8, authorizes the supervisor to execute a contract with the Preservation League of New York State for a grant for the Benjamin Barn located in the grounds of the East End Arts Council. We just discussed that. 9, ratifies the appointment of law firm of Ripken Radler. This is where we discussed, we already signed the retainer.
The hell of a jumping ship.
Heller moved. 10, accepts resignation of maintenance mechanic 2. Joe Denseski is retiring. No, he's retiring. He's moving on to bigger and better sewer
I was gonna
projects.
say, I
Good for
think I
him.
want to retire, resign.
11, ratifies authorization for town clerk to publish and post wanted advertisement for maintenance mechanic 2. That's for Joe.
That's it, help wanted, so if you're on the list for a maintenance mechanic 2 and you're
It's not a list.
there's not a list.
No, it's not a competitive position.
So anybody can come in and apply for that.
Correct.
Yep.
12, appoints a call-in detention attendant.
Mine is ready to go down too, but it's just.
We good?
Yep.
Call-in detention attendant?
Yep, good Foster.
Yep.
13, authorizes the removal of litter, garbage, refuse, rubbish, yard waste, weeds, noxious plants, grass, and or rank vegetation in excess of 10 inches in height on the premises known as 31 Northville Turnpike, Riverhead, New York, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 128-4-10 pursuant to the Riverhead Town Code. We good?
Yep.
Yep.
14, adopts a local law to amend Chapter 245 entitled Littering and Graffiti of the Riverhead Town Code.
It's only in the doorways there.
15, adopts a local law to amend Chapter 289 entitled Vehicles, Traffic, Parking Regulations, Riverhead Town Code, Section 289-17, Parking Time
Okay, I
Limited.
just want to make one modification to this.
Okay,
It says the first two parking stalls located south of the stores that are in front of north side of East Main Street, west of East Avenue Extension. It isn't East Avenue Extension, it's East Avenue.
On the town maps,
The
it's called.
clerk, yeah, but the clerk gave me the official, when it was named, and it's East Avenue,
Okay.
Okay, so just
So-
have Laura take that out.
yes. Okay,
Okay. 16 ratifies the approval of application of fireworks permit of Boy Scouts of Suffolk
Too
County.
late.
It already happened.
It did.
Even, the aquarium had no idea they were doing this, they didn't tell them either. 17, ratifies the cancellation of credit card debit electronic check payment processing service of Evo Easy Pay Systems.
that is the new company, or is this the,
This is,
When we got the AS presented to us, they didn't tell us that we had to get rid of
Yeah,
yeah,
but it's the same,
Just give it
it's
to
the same,
BAS.
it's the same master company, which is Systems Maintenance, and Evo subscribes to them, and so does this new company that we're going through, so all of the,
I thought it was a different
devices
company.
that actually swipe the credit card stay, because it's Systems Maintenance
BAS has the same software.
is the name of it.
so we have to get rid of Evo.
Yeah,
They're the parent.
What?
Just for the tax receivers.
Just for the tax receiver, right?
Yeah,
Right,
tax
everything
Keeping it
else
for
is
everything
staying
else.
status quo.
Yep,
But they, well, they don't want to start out with it, right?
Yeah,
I
that's
know,
true.
it's a shame that,
It is a shame. It's
Recreation
absolutely
has it.
ridiculous. I wish we talked about that before we did it.
but we
20
never spoke about that when we,
I don't know that nobody realized it was buried in the BAS, that you had to use their credit card processing because it's
Let's read about
It
the bid
is,
again. for BAS.
proprietary information that they use with BAS to go to the credit card processing, so you get forced and you have to use their credit card processor, which,
Time for new bid. All right.
18 ratifies the execution of agreement with Forte Payment. This is the
Yeah, BAS
credit card
as well.
processing
Yeah.
company that's replacing BAS.
right,
19 authorizes the release of the subdivision performance security of 1994 Soundview Golf Inc., Soundbreeze Subdivision, Section 4. I don't know anything.
business automation systems, that's what it was.
What is the?
where is this? Or what development is this? Sound Breeze.
Really don't know.
Sound, 1994 Soundview Golf.
Is that, I mean, is that in Wading River?
Is that North Wading River Road up there?
I don't, never heard of
No,
this.
Soundbreeze is North Wading. That's what I'm thinking, it's Great Rock. I don't know, we gotta find that out, I'll have to ask.
Yeah.
I'm sure Laura did, I guess Laura did this. I'll have to ask Laura. All right, 20, authorizes refund of fee in connection with change of zone application has been withdrawn by the
You
applicant.
gotta change that font. That's ridiculous.
They
Why would I
applied,
even give him the money back?
because it hadn't been reviewed, it was
So
sitting
what?
on someone's desk.
So what? That's
Well,
all
that
right,
was a
that's all-
recommendation that was made to them by the planning director.
Change of zone, with refund is the people that were making an application to do solar on a farm.
Right, but, why are we refunding it? That's their own.
Because all they did was submit it, and it sat on someone's desk for months
So
and
what?
months, and
That's the
hadn't
way
been
change of
reviewed.
zones are.
I've
where
never
they're-
seen us do a refund.
Yeah, I've never done a refund before, I'm
Yeah,
voting
but
against
we
that.
should, yeah.
They submitted it on their own.
That's the recommendation that came from the planning director, Jefferson Murphy, told them that if they withdraw the application, then they could get their money back.
Hey,
So,
I'm voting against it, so we don't
We
usually
gotta-
give
we
the money
gotta,
back. That's a
think
change of zone,
Jeff-
you submit it
we-
on your own, and if somebody
Jeff
is
should come
silly
in
enough
and
to
talk
think
to
we're
us,
gonna change
about it.
farm fields to, solar farms, that's to their own detriment.
We
Did he indicate, is that the policy that we've always given it back?
No.
Or
We've
we're
never-
saying
No,
we've
we've
never
never
given
given
it back?
but
Even Barbara
no one's
Bless is
ever
shaking her head,
withdrawn.
we've never, yes, they've asked before.
Well, this is the direction that came from the Jefferson Murphy and the planning staff, because we didn't perform any services.
For what? That's up to their discretion. You don't change your zone application, that's a completely 100% discretionary thing. If you wanna make the application, do it at your own peril.
Yeah,
I'm voting against it.
we gotta talk
You
about
wanna- Or do we have 3 votes for this? How are you voting?
I need to find out a little bit more about it.
I gotta find a little bit more about it.
Leave it in. I'm voting against it.
Yeah, let's just see,
my
I
recommend-
wanna speak to Jeff and see what he has to say.
I was in the room when he told them,
Probably talk to Bob.
withdraw the application. and
Well,
get
yeah,
it
you
back
should
up.
talk to Bob because it's really a town attorney thing.
Yeah, and Bob, okay.
I don't think we've ever done it before.
decide not to expand my house, then I get my money back?
No,
No, you don't.
you don't.
Oh.
Huh?
No, but
without a permit then.
anyway,
Completely voluntary, it's a completely
Okay.
discretionary thing for the town.
we disagree. We didn't perform a service and it sat on someone's desk and the check was never even cashed.
nice is that?
Well, I doubt the check was not cashed. The check had to be cashed because
That's what
we're
I'm being told.
returning the,
That's what I was of the understanding when
I can't imagine the
we had
check
the
wasn't
discussion
cashed.
last week.
Next one's
Okay, well, find out, you guys find out, I'm voting against it.
Okay.
21, ratifies the appointment of law firm of Rivkin Radler.
believe.
I thought is this a duplicate? Yeah, so take that out.
It's number
This is 'cause he changed law firms, right?
Right.
same as like the second one.
22, sets the date and time of Riverhead's 18th annual
Yes.
bonfire and holiday resignate thing.
You missed something here.
Really?
Oh, wait a minute, no, you didn't, you skipped it, I got it, go ahead.
She said there's two of these.
There's two of them? Well, that's what we
Sets the
want,
date.
twice as many people there this year.
22, okay. We're good with the bonfire? 23, you good with the bonfire again?
Yes, both bonfires.
24, resolution calling for a public hearing regarding a lateral water main extension for Hamlet Professional Center, New York State Route 25A, Whiting River, H2M project.
So you're taking this one out, right?
North side of 25A, 1,700 feet of Wading River Manor Road. This is to bring the water main up to
Settles.
the Barra. I guess, is Barra still on that? He still owns that that vacant lot.
He has an application, site plan application.
East on the north side.
That's it.
The hop farm there.
That's it? All right, we have two.
So far.
Can I get a motion to go into executive session for personnel and contractual?
John?
So moved.
I'm sorry, Sean, there's a resolution that's on the table there that,
Oh,
One more?
is it just one?
yes, and the bid.
That's for the press.
Let's go through the last page.
Extends bid, contract not
Not
pro
good, yeah.
tunc for Crown Recycling
I only
Facility
got
for
one
Highway
page.
Department grinding of town yard waste on the south side of Youngs Avenue. Oh, good, that was it.
Is this the one that we should have?
Okay,
So we're gonna grind that. All right, I'm good with that. You guys good with that?
yeah.
All right, now can I get a motion to go into executive
I
session?
make a motion, we go to executive session
I don't want
for litigation and personnel.
On the landfill property and then
contract.
we're gonna grind this stuff for us, Sean?
Don't know what happened with it.